it was just like, it was against some really epic people, like racing guys of like, or on track or talking to, hanging out with like Jeff Ward, Doug Henry, like all these legends of the sport. I had no idea who Jeff Ward was. Like, really at 16, I had, until I started, looking it up. Because I followed motocross and stuff, but I didn't know who, he was still older at that time. And I'm racing all these ex-pro supercrossers and road racers and stuff. And I'm just a young kid. And same thing that night. I remember when I won, Mickey came off afterwards. He's like, dude, that was an amazing ride. He's like, you scared the shit out of me. He's like,
Sounds about right.
You came out of turn 4. It was like NASCAR banking coming onto the front straightaway. And I remember like road race style hanging off and just being like wide open because I'm leading, and then things step sideways. And Mickey said he shut off the gas because he's like, you were just drifting right towards the wall. And like, he's like, he thought he was going to I was going to hit the wall. So everybody like checked up, and I didn't. I was hit the wall and checked out and got a big gap and held it. And, I won my first race at 16. And I think it was like probably the youngest to win like an unlimited race or whatever in the series. And won that one and had a couple other good results and a lot of podiums throughout my career, and just raced some really cool places. And that's the biggest thing I miss about the sport is like, even at that age, I didn't understand or appreciate some of these places I was going and the people I was around, but still to this date, I'm still friends with, Jeff Ward and Doug Henry, and see those guys, and they know who I am and just know me as like that wild kid. But now, they know me as the flat tracker, and, I got to work with Jeff Ward a little bit with flat track too. So it's just been, the SuperMoto stuff definitely pioneered a lot for me. It was like, just built some really good relationships with some really good people. It was like, for me, it was like the flat track kid went into the supercross side of things. So I met like, that's when Alex Dunson was with Monster. So I was like, when I came back to flat track, it was like, I had a Monster deal. I was like one of the first ones to bring Monster to like flat track. And then a couple of these other companies that just like, because I had the experience, in an industry that was like a little higher up than the flat track, scene of things. And I brought a lot of that with me throughout my career in different ways, and it's helped me with my flat track career, just kind of uniqueness of sponsorship opportunities or just connecting with people and having good relationships. So it was definitely a highlight of my career, I would say, like at a young age, traveling the country. I remember, I was 16 and I had the option to fly or I could save money and go with the truck driver. And I went with the truck driver and I started traveling the country, seeing the country and saving money, just, but mainly just to, see the country and know the ins and outs of like how a semi works and how the race team functioned. And now, 15 years later, I'm running race teams and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like I was kind of prepping myself back then.